Hello everyone, welcome to another webinar, Tuesday, a technical one this time. Just give me 5 minutes to confirm that I'm live both in GoToWebinar and Zoom. Give me just a minute, okay? I will disable my camera and everything just for 5 minutes. Guys, give me some time, please, okay? Just to cross-check that I'm also sharing this webinar in the Zoom as well. Just give me 5 minutes, I will get back to you. Perfect. So we are good to go. Everything is enabled. Guys, as usual, feel free to ask anything you want. We have the question box. Any problem that you're facing, just stick it on the box along with your questions and etc. So today, we're gonna go through the ADX and RSI indicators, but we're gonna focus on how to use these two particular indicators in order to trade any breakouts that you have spotted or pullbacks. Okay, this is what we're gonna go through today with lots of examples as well. So as usual, I would really appreciate your feedback in regards to the audio, firstly, whether you can hear me loud and clear, and whether you are facing any visual issues as well. I would like to remind you that this is recorded, so at the end of the day and by the latest tomorrow, you're going to receive an email with the recording, okay? Anything you need, we're here to help. I have already uploaded the handout for you to download the PDF version of this webinar, okay? Guys, I really like a feedback just to make sure that you can hear me, see me, and etc. Just in order to give me a thumbs up so I could start the session. So until I have a response, I will go through the disclaimer warning as usual. So this material is provided as a general marketing communication for information purposes only and does not constitute an independent investment research. Nothing in this communication contains or should be considered as containing an investment advice or an investment recommendation or a solicitation for the purpose of buying or selling of any financial instrument. All information provided is gathered from reputable sources, and any information contained containing an indication of past performance is not a guarantee or reliable indicator of future performance. Users acknowledge that any investment in leveraged products is characterized by a certain degree of uncertainty, and that any investment of this nature involves a high level of risk for which the users are solely responsible and liable. We assume no liability for any loss arising from any investment made based on the information provided in this communication. This communication must not be reproduced or further distributed without our prior written permission. Trading leveraged products such as forex and derivatives may not be suitable for all investors, as they carry a high degree of risk to your capital. Please ensure that you fully understand the risks involved, taking into account your investment objectives and level of experience before trading, and if necessary, seek independent advice. You can find our full risk disclosure in our website, along with any legal documentation that you might need. So I can hear you, but I can't see you. That's the GoToWebinar. Okay. Okay, so there is a clash. Unfortunately, you can hear me. I couldn't manage to solve the issue with the camera. Sorry for that. Yes, you're right. It's blank. Okay, I'm sorry, Lanka, for this session. You will be able only to hear me. Okay, so let's move on. And so I'd like to remind you once again that the handout is in the handout section, so feel free to download it. Okay, so let's skip my intro, because I think from I've seen many familiar names over here, so there is no need for me to introduce once again myself. Okay, so this is what we're gonna cover today, as I already told you guys. So we'll try firstly to explain a bit what the ADX and RSI are and how can be used, because we might have people here that they are not really familiar with these two indicators. And then we're going to emphasize on understanding how we can trade breakouts and pullbacks using ADX and RSI indicators. Okay. And if we have any extra time, we're going to see also some examples with divergence. Okay. So how many of you are are actually using any of these two indicators? Just out of curiosity. Okay, I will continue until I have some feedback. Okay, perfect. Recorded. Okay, cool. Move on. How does using RSI? Is it something that you find useful? William Aldo, is it like helps you identify, helps you with your trading, and if yes, in which way? I mean, is it are you using it as for identifying entries, or for identifying the overall momentum, or for exiting a trade? How you are using RSI? I don't know ADX. That's fair enough. We're gonna go through right now the background and what is signals. Don't worry about it. Okay, don't worry about it. We're gonna see both of them today, so don't worry about it. So William is using RSI for identifying entries as an overbought and oversold indicator. Bravo, well done. Okay, that's good. So I'm gonna start with ADX. Okay, so yeah, let's see a bit of a background, okay, before we start. Actually, we have started already. I will avoid a bit spending time though on the history of ADX. I will simply mention that is, first of all, it's a trending indicator, okay? Developed by Wallace Wilder in 1978. Okay, so really old and but still, it's something that is very, very useful nowadays, and it's still a great indicator. But it might be one of them of the first that have been created. So I mentioned that is a trending indicator, right? So its first characteristic is that it can help us identify the strength of the trend. Okay, that's why it's called ADX, Average Directional Index. This is what ADX stands for. So it's the ADX is an indicator that is used in technical analysis as an objective value for identifying the strength of the trend. You know, the stronger the trend, the more it's likely to last. The weaker the trend, the more the odds to run out of steam and reach its end. Okay, so so at this point, I would like to ask you just very, very quickly, how many of you are trend traders? Trend traders over here? Yeah, I see that you're using MACD and Bollingers and fast and slow moving averages. Very, very good. Cool. Great. Cool. Okay. Perfect. Okay, lots of you. Actually, the majority of you. Cool. Uh, Although there's nothing wrong on using MACD, Bollingers, and moving average. That's great, actually. Whatever you find helpful, and whatever it's for you and your system and your trading. Okay, there's nothing wrong. We're gonna go through today ADX and RSI just to see how you whether it's something that you would like to try, or whatever, whether it's something that that it could upgrade your existing system. Who knows? Okay, so but nothing wrong about MACD and Bollingers and fast moving average. Actually, it's great. It's great, absolutely great. So let's move on. So since the majority of you are trend traders, you are already very, very well aware that trading in the direction of the trend is a plus, right? That reduces the risk, increases profit potential. So there is this phrase that we keep saying, that trend is your friend, right? So, and this is what ADX is doing actually. It is determining when price is trending strongly or not. So it can be considered as a good tool for trend traders in general, even if it is a tool that simply gives you how strong a trend is. But it doesn't give direction, by the way. Okay, I would like to be clear with that. It doesn't give direction. So even if you see, so this is how it looks like. Okay, this is the bottom of this slide. I have how the ADX looks like. It's a combination of 3 lines, but I would like to highlight, and we'll repeat it many times in this webinar, guys, that it doesn't show direction. So you can see that these 3 lines are going down, up, are flattening. This is not the direction. This is just strictly how strong or how weak the trend is. So I would like to be very, very clear with this, because there are a lot of people that when they start or test ADX, they are confused and they think that if the ADX lines are pointing up, it means that the trend will go up. If the ADX, no. It just shows how strong the trend is. So if you have spotted an uptrend, so what you're searching for the ADX is to see whether there is a lot of strength still, so whether it will last for longer, will continue in the same direction, or whether it starts weakening. This is what you will try to find out from the ADX. Nothing more, nothing less, okay? It's just strictly the strength or the weakness of the trend. So it's a non-directional indicator, okay? So it quantifies, as I said, a trend strength regardless of where it is up or down. Don't be confused. Stick it, like put a note for it. So as I said, it's created, it's combined by 3 lines. The minus stands for directional movement directional movement. Minus directional movement is a negative directional movement. The other one stands, the green one stands for positive directional movement, and basically these lines are based on true range and average true range. Okay, so let me move on just to explain these 3 lines and which one matters the most. Okay, perfect. So I mentioned that is composed by 3 lines, right? Let's start with the simple ones, the red and the green. Okay, the red stands for the minus directional line, and the plus and the green one stands for the plus directional line movement. So basically, these 2 lines are determined so actually no, let's take it step by step. So Mr. Wilders, okay, when initially what he tried to do is find a way, right, to, no, don't worry about being late, Steve, no worries, anyway, it's recorded, so you haven't missed much, okay? We are explaining ADX right now. So, as I was saying, along with the ADX, there are plenty of trending indicators out there. But what Mr. Wilder wanted to achieve, and why it created the ADX, is because he wanted to determine the strength, right? This is it. So there is no need, obviously, for me to go through the mathematical terms and how this indicator was created. I will just stick on what these 3 lines show. Okay, so basically the third line, the blue line, okay, is the average of the true range that the price is currently moving. Okay, so I have somewhere no, I haven't put the formula, it doesn't matter, you don't need to know the formula, but the blue, and I will get a step backwards just to show you once again how it looks like. Come on. You see, I have with a thicker line the blue one, because this is the one that it presents the strength. Okay, the strength. So the value of the blue line, which is otherwise called average true range line, presents the trend, the strength. The other 2 are actually help us to spot any shift on the sentiment, okay, bullish or bearish signals. So let's take it step by step. Let's get back to the second slide. So okay, so if you check your MT4 or MT5 platform, okay, you will find it first of all in the navigator tab under the trend category, okay, because it's a trend indicator, and you will see that it is plotted with these 3 lines. Okay, so the very first thing that you need to check is the ADX line, the average true value line, which is the blue one. Okay, usually it's the blue one. That one is ranging between 0 to 100, so it's in a range, okay? And is the one that it will provide whether we are in a trending mode or a non-trending mode. So the value, the scale of the ADX is important for us to distinguish between a trending or a non-trending conditions. Other than observing the actual candlesticks, other than observing the price action, we're going to have an extra confirmation whether we are in a ranging mode, consolidation mode, or whether we have an actual trend by checking the ADX line and whether it's above 50, close to 100, or it's very, very weak and it's close to 0, etc. So I have a little table over here. I know that it sounds a bit confusing for the time being because we have 3 lines, but let's take it step by step, okay? Now I emphasize on the blue line, otherwise called average true range line, okay? And is the one that presents that distinguish first of all between whether we have a trending condition or not trending conditions, and how strong the trend is or how weak. So I said that the ADX is in a range, right, from 0 to 100. So if our ADX is moving below 25, that implies to a weak trend or even no trend. That means that our asset might not trending, might be mixed sideways. So we have either a weak trend or a no trend at all. That's why if we have something like that, then it's just a market to avoid, unless if we have a strategy in which we I don't know, it's up to you whether you are trading swings or ranging market. You have a different strategy for trading in the near term ranging market. But this is a different system. For those that are solid trend traders and they love and this is their strategy, then if our ADX is below 25, then it's something that we should avoid until we see the ADX line moving above 25. Because if it starts moving above 25, and more precisely to point towards 50 or even 75, that means that we have a strong trend. While if it's standing between 50 to 75, that means that it's a very, very strong trend. Okay, so remember, trend is our friend. So this is something that it's a trigger point to enter and participate in this trend. Now, no, that nothing lasts forever, right? So if we have an extreme condition with ADX above 75, that means that this trend is overextended. So there is the risk of a pullback, of a reversal or a correction. So if the indication is above 75, that indicates that the trend is overextended and is possibly at its peak. So I need to mention in this point that if ADX is at such high price, it also means that the trend is overextended, so we might see a reversal after such a high indication. So it's where most of the trend traders are closing their position or considering their exit strategies or locking some profits. Okay, so let's move on. You will figure it out. Even if you are a bit confused right now, we have examples and I think everything will get clearer slide after slide. So we spoke about the ADX line, which is the blue one in this example. So we mentioned ADX, we have checked ADX. Now, what the DMI, the directional movement lines, stands for, the minus and the plus one. So basically, these two lines are the ones that will give us more information, extra information, regarding the asset that we're looking at. So what I mean by that, what extra information? Basically, they're gonna let us know whether the prices will keep moving up or they're gonna turn down in the near future. So let's take it step by step. So as I said, the green one is for the plus DMI. The red one is for the minus DMI. So what does it mean if the green is above the red? If the green is above the red, okay, then this means that the bulls have the directional edge. So bulls are in control, guys. Bulls are in control. This is what it means. But I want you to be careful because you might see bulls being in control in the near term, even if you are in a downtrend. I remind you that ADX is not an indicator that shows directions. It shows strength of the trend. So some traders are ignoring the near term swings. So what the DMI and the DMI line shows, because they are emphasized, they are more long-term traders. They only want to be on the same side as the trend, so they don't pay attention as long as the ADX is strong. But for those that they would like to benefit on the intraday swings, yes, so DMI lines matter. Okay, so as I said, the plus, if the green is above the red, that means that bulls have the control intraday for the time being, depends on which time frame you are. However, when the red is above the green, it means that the bears are right now in control. Okay. So as with all the technical trends, traders use several indicators to confirm a movement, right? So one option is to consider a possible sell position when the red is up and the major trend is down. So let me repeat. Okay, let's assume that we are okay, this example has both swings down and swings up. Let's assume that we are in a downtrend. Okay, let's focus over here. Let's focus on pin on this downtrend. Okay, so our asset was in a drift. Okay, so our trend, so ignore what happened afterwards. Let's focus on this one. So our asset was moving down, down, down. So the trend was down, right? So in the beginning of this trend, we saw that the ADX was somewhere around 30, then it slopes at 25. It sustained though above at 25, so it didn't fall below 25. So the trend still had steam. It still had strength to continue lower. But we noticed after 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 days, okay, 7 days, that the green clashed with the red and it started to move below it. So the red, so the minus DI, was above the plus DI. Okay. What that means? It means that, can anyone reply to me? What does it mean? That bulls or bears are in control? What does it mean if the minus DI line, so the red, is above the green? What I said earlier. Bears in control. Bravo, Lagna. So this is a selling an extra selling signal. So if you didn't catch this trend, and if you weren't participating in this trend, you can do it now. Or if you had participated, you can add extra. You can add. You can open. You can add to your existing position, because this is another sign that this downtrend will continue, because first of all, the ADX failed to move below 25, but we had another bearish signal with the DI lines. Okay, you can tell me, but Andria, ADX was on 25. How can I be sure? Fair enough. You can wait to see where you can wait until your ADX starts pointing higher. Okay? That's nothing wrong with that. Or you can combine other indicators, which is RSI or parabolic SAR. We're gonna see everything in a minute, in a while. Now, let's see what's the other option. Another option is to consider a buying position only if your green is higher than red. So this case, green cross above the red line. Okay, my ADX was above 25. And what else do I have? Where is my at that very moment when I saw the green crossing above the red, at the same time my ADX was above 25, a bit flat, but it was above 25. What else do I need to take in consideration in order to enter the market long? Anyone? What my trend should be in order to be sure, or at least to be confident on what I'm gonna do on opening, to be confident on opening a buying position. No one? Okay. Guys, price action and the candles are still the key. No, ADX is above 25 already. So you see, it's flat, but it's holding above 25. So we are good. We know that the trend is still there. The strength of the trend is still there. We have this bullish signal with the green above the red, but at the end, the very first thing that we had to check is how the price is moving. And at that very moment, we had already 4 up candles, giving hints that we might have an uptrend. We're not sure yet, but the confirmation came with this swing higher and this huge gap up. So that candle was the one that confirmed that I am in an uptrend. The bullish cross is correct, and it gives us nice confirmation for entering long. ADX shows that trend is still strong, so we can go long. So you can consider buying when your green line is above the red, and at the same time you have a trend. The candles are actually show that the trend is moving higher. So you need higher highs, consecutive bullish candles, right? Because if we were in a downtrend, but ADX was where the DI lines were showing a bullish signal, that is quite risky, because it might be just temporary, just lasting for, I don't know, a few minutes or something. So in other words, it is possible to use ADX as a way to time an entry on the market that is already confirmed to be trading in a particular direction. Okay, So if our green DMI is above the red DMI, with the price of the asset moving higher and the ADX sustain above 25 or even rising above 25, then that means that we have strong uptrend. When the red DMI is above the plus DMI, but our price is moving lower, so we are in a downtrend, or it keeps posting bearish candles, okay, then it means that we have a strong downtrend. Let's move on. So guys, just to clarify a bit, because I might confuse you, there is not wrong if we see, like in this case, if we see the ADX line flattening. There's nothing wrong about that. That doesn't mean that the trend has weakened. Okay, because why doesn't mean that? Because it's well above 25. The trend that the what will be a worrying signal is if we had seen our prices moving higher, bullish cross from the DI lines, but our ADX to be below 25. Yes, that's not a call to action. That is something that we should avoid, and we'll say, okay, we have a bullish cross from the DI lines, we have a trend moving higher, but ADX is below 25, so that means weak trend. So let's wait. Let's not rush. Are you okay so far? ADX is a very useful tool indeed, but it needs for you to be alert. Alert. I mean literally alert to check your candles, your price action, to check your ADX. Okay, because I said if it's 25 and falling, or even below 25 and flat, that is not a weak trend, so it doesn't call for action. It's something that it says be patient, wait, monitor. So it's a combo of things with ADX. With ADX, you need to check your candles, your price action in general, check your ADX, and if your ADX is above 25, then you can check also your DI lines. Okay. A common mistake is that because we're in a rush and we want to participate the market as soon as possible, a very common mistake is that the falling ADX line means the trend is reversing. No. A falling ADX below 25 will mean that the trend is reversing. A falling ADX above 25, it doesn't mean that it will weaken or it will reverse. Okay, and a good example is I think I don't have it here. I have okay, I have a downtrend example. So you see, I'm in a downtrend. Okay, so it stopped, it started rising, right? So ADX was at its peak around 60 and falling. So okay, it was falling, but at the same time we are seeing that the price action is moving higher. So indeed it was falling, but that doesn't mean weak trend. It just means that is less strong than it used to be, okay, but is not pointing to a reversal. A reversal will be confirmed as soon as, or it will be like a signal that, okay, get out or wait or something. As soon as we see the ADX moving below 25, that will be a sign that something is changing and the sentiment is changing, okay? Now, so if you see ADX falling, it doesn't mean that you need to take action that very moment. It just means that you need to keep yourself alert, okay? Because it might be, if it turns below 25, it might be a good time to exit your existing trade, okay? Or if you have other indicators in combination with ADX, you need to make sure with the other indicators whether there are also signaling some signs of a reversal or pullback and etc. So this example is a fairly good one for a downtrend reversing to an uptrend. You see, we were down, ADX was rising, so that means there was a strong downtrend. It peaked over here, our downtrend. We were in a downtrend. Our ADX was increasing and increasing and increasing. So what that means, it means strong downtrend until it peaked over here and start slow down. So that was the very his first hint that the trend might change. So you can use this. So you can use the falling ADX for exiting an existing position. Okay. What else? What else? Let's move on, I think, because we spend a lot of time on ADX. Now, ADX and breakouts, right? So what did I say? Values below 25, it means weak trend or no trend. And over here, we've seen that ADX was indeed temporarily, for a short term, rising above 25, but not turning below it again and again and again. It's because we were in a ranging market. If you had connected the lows and the highs, because you can see that we're in a ranging market. So it's good for you to use channels or trend lines, okay? Oh my God, sorry. ADX better for swings and position traders as opposed to day traders and scalpers. Not necessarily, but yes, it could be a good combination for if you are a swing trader, my dear Steve. It could be an addition, but not better or worse, because both day traders and scalpers and swing traders can use it, but in a different way. Okay, scalpers will have to, it depends which asset they are trading. Scalpers will have to detect the settings, because the default settings are 14 period. So the scalpers, they might need to consider using 7 period or even 5 period. Okay. Swings as well, it depends from the asset though. It could be used from everyone, but for scalpers and swings more precisely, I think depends on the asset. Again, I think that the detection of the settings is a must. Okay, I need to practice it a bit and test it a bit. So nonetheless, ranging market. I have put my channel on. It was clear a ranging market. My ADX was a bit, or time all up and down without sustaining a move above 25. A significant move above 25 was always flirting at 25 or below it. But I spotted, so it's good to, I like putting also trend lines on my indicators, guys. Why? Because look at that, right? I connect the high. I cannot draw a straight line. Erase all. I will try to do it again. So if I connect the peaks of the ADX, I'll see that, okay, it was in a ranging market, doing some swings higher, but failing to show me a stable long-term uptrend until this point. What this point stands. First of all, I was curious to check my ADX only because I saw that the price action started to move above my channel, my year, my long term channel. And I was like, oh, okay, what's going on over here? It crossed above it, flirt a bit, and trying to like kept that as a floor, and then it suddenly started moving higher again and getting away from my long ranging market. So what's going on? Let's check ADX, and I saw that ADX was above 25, something that is not, it was, I mean, it's something that we have seen in the past, but then the interesting about this latest rise of ADX, it was from the fact that it started moving above the previous highs of the ADX. And the slope was also quite sharp. So what we have the price action started doing higher highs and higher lows. Can you see? High, exiting my range. So I have two signals over here, bullish signals over here. My ADX was above 25, but also it crossed above the previous highs. And I had also the DI line, the green one, above the red one. So how many bullish signals are these? How many did you count it from what I said? Rashida, I can see that you are still here. Please, the PDF version is in the handout section, so please download it. And don't worry that you haven't joined us on time. You will receive a recording in your email. Guys, how many signals are these? William, it says 3. Anyone else? I think I counted 4, but okay. I think I counted 4. For me, it's 4 because sharp rise, breakout. Okay, firstly, it's a breakout. Then by being a bit patient and wait, I saw that it continued moving higher. So higher highs, higher lows. So 2. Rising ADX with a breakout of the previous high. So 3. And green DMI line above the red. So 4. For me, it's a 4. None. Apache, why none? I mean, even if we miss the breakout, even if we miss the ADX, it kept moving higher. So we had a long way, we had plenty of time to participate in this trend. I don't know why Abasi says no, none, but I'm curious to find out. So nevertheless, until Abasi replies, I will move on, okay? Because we are here for nearly an hour and we need to go through the RSI, which is quicker, okay? It's very straightforward, but we're gonna see a combination of the two. So here are some settings, it's just a summary basically. By default, the ADX is at 14 periods. Abasi 4, yes, Abasi, thank you, yes. So it's 14, okay, it's a summary of ADX. I'm not going to go through it, but guys, I want you to be very careful when applying ADX, okay? Like every other indicator, because the default is 14. But if you are a scalper like Steve asked before, or if you are a swing trader, if you're a trader of a 13 minutes chart, you might need to play a bit with the settings because they might need to change, okay? So right click, come on the ADX and play a bit, put it on 7, put it on 5, or you might need to increase it. It depends from your asset and the time frame. So you might need to, yes, You need to play with it a bit to see what it gives you, the appropriate signals for your assets. Over here, what do I have? Bam, bam, bam. So 1 hour dollar index. So 7 is too short because it didn't warn me about this drift. So I will change it back to the default. Reset. Let's see the default. No, sorry, it didn't warn me. So let me just put the 5 there. It's way too fast. So up, 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 up. No. You see, it doesn't satisfy. It doesn't satisfy my dollar index in the 4-hour chart. So let's see that one. Let me do this in a blue one, thick one. Let's see. So rose, come down. Okay. Rose again. Flirt with 25, then start moving higher, breaking my previous highs. So that looks okay. That looks okay. Not great, but okay. I think in my dollar index might need more. 21. Let's see. Below 25, a swing, cruise down, down, move above it, sustains. No. Pump up. No, for the default one is the best one for dollar index. So you need to play a bit with them, right? To make sure that it's satisfying. It gives you nice signals for your asset. So per asset is different, okay? Per asset is different. So and per time frame as well, guys, okay? Yeah, perfect. Okay, so let's get back. Let's get back. John, don't worry about it. This is recorded, so since you are here already, you're gonna receive it on your email. So I'm gonna go through. I'm gonna quickly. This is another example of divergence, but I would like to check with you RSI and to combine the two. So I'm gonna skip these slides, unfortunately, guys, because we are running out of steam. It's just some further examples, further common mistakes, but we have I have already verbally explained all this. By the way, it was who said that is using Bollinger's and MACD? Who said that? It was Auto. Auto is a very Bollinger's and MA's is a very good combination with ADX, by the way. Okay, so let's move on. Okay, RSI. I think it's something that is widely used and it's even more popular than ADX. And you mentioned already that you are using it. So, by the way, Wilder is the creator of RSI, of ADX, of ATR, and parabolic SAR. It's a very key economist, mathematician, and a very famous and important person for the financial markets and the technical indicators. So RSI, in contrast with ADX, is a momentum oscillator. So it combines both words, the trend one, okay, and the sentiment one. So it's a momentum oscillator. It measures the strength like ADX, by taking into consideration not the average true values, but it takes into consideration the previous performance. So it's like a simpler moving average. Basically, it's an average of the gains and the average of the losses. So it's a okay, ignore the mathematics anyway. You don't need to remember the formula that the RSI is developed from. You don't need it. But it helps us either to identify the trend, it helps us to identify the strength, and it helps us to identify any reversal points, any changes in the direction. Now, let's move on. So basically, think about it like an average daily change of the market. So RSI is again ranged like ADX from 0 to 100, but its key zone is at 50, not 25. If RSI is below 50, dropping, that means that the trend is that we have a swing lower, so it shows direction. It's not like ADX that it doesn't show direction. This one it shows direction and it shows strength as well. So if our ADX is slowing down, is pointing lower, and is below 50, pointing to 30, that means downwards movement. If it moves below 30, that means oversold conditions. So that's the potential reversal point, because if the RSI is below 30, it means that it has been oversold, like I also mentioned earlier, right? Who said that is using it as an oversold and overbought indicator? It was William, sorry. Yes. So you see, so if the RSI is below 30, okay, that is where we can say that we have an oversold condition. So like every extreme situation, that means a reversal. So oversold means that we will eventually have a bounce. If the RSI is above 70, reaching 80, 90 territory, that means that it has been overbought. So that will give us a sign for a potential pullback of the price action, a return lower, a correction, or a complete reversal. That's why RSI is being used very well, very properly by William, for example, as a tool for identifying entries as an overbought or oversold indication. That it's very, very well said by William earlier in this session. I will not spend a lot of time for the theory about RSI. I want to go straight to the examples in order to see a combination before we end the session. So, as I said, the RSI is ranged at the same way as ADX, but the key zone is at 50, not 25. So basically for RSI, we have three key areas: the 30, the 50, and the 70. If the RSI is above 50, pointing to 70, that means that there is bullish bias. Okay. If, however, is well above 70, very well above 70, that means that it's overbought, overvalued. So they are maybe primed for a trend reversal or a corrective pullback. So it's where you could consider closing your existing position and locking some profits. Okay. While if it's at 50 pointing down to 30, that means that there is a lot of selling pressure. The bears are in control. If it breaks 30 and it's well up below 30, that means that it has been also oversold. So this may be primed for a trend reversal or a corrective bounce of the price. Now, okay, let's do this example as well before we compose and combine these two indicators. So can you see here that we were in a long uptrend for many days, right? Many days. we had this peak for 4 consecutive days, so the asset didn't manage to move and extend further to the upside. And then we had two significant strong bearish candles. Why I'm saying significant? Because they are big ones. They are nearly full body ones. Okay. When these two candles confirmed, we start seeing at the same time the RSI pointing lower. It was at the same territory, but it was started slowing down and moving lower. So, okay, we have two really strong bearish candles. For 4 days in a row, the asset didn't manage to extend and post another higher high. It just struggled to break that particular area. And RSI started to move lower, not breaking this 50 territory, but it started moving below 70 towards 50. So that was the very first hints that we might see a reversal of the so far uptrend. So when it's a good time to enter the trade, to identify an entry level, as soon as we see the RSI crossing below 50. Okay, so that was a possible entry, short entry for that particular asset. Another one could have been earlier, once we saw the RSI pointing lower, but it might was a bit too early. So that one, the fact that it was also below 50 gives more confidence to your decision. Okay. And the fact that, you see, when we had this crossing, also the price was below the 20-day moving average. So it's a further confidence and further trust to your short entry. Now, so I will combine the two. Are you okay so far? Shall I move on and combine the two? This is just some things that you can read your free time in regards to RSI. So here's an illustration, not a great one. I'm gonna go to the MT4 and do a live one, okay? This is a combination on how you can use an example of how you can use ADX in combination with RSI. So regardless of which asset is this one, even though I says euro dollar. So first of all, you need to observe, okay? And you can zoom in and see, okay? Okay, we are in a downtrend, aren't we? Is anyone disagrees? Ignore what happens afterwards. Just emphasize on this. Are we or are we not in a downtrend? Based solely on the price action, not the indicators yet. Are we or are we not? Yes, it is. It is a downtrend. So, okay, we are in a downtrend. Shall we participate in the trend? Let's see. So, we have a downtrend. That's the one. Now, ADX was a bit flat and start rising. Where is it placed? It is around, okay, it's below, it should be somewhere around 20. But it's rising. Let me find 25 for you. 25 should be somewhere here. I cannot do a straight line, guys, I'm sorry. Okay, so it crossed 25 somewhere here, where our price action was like had small body candles, but still posting some lowest lows. Okay, so we have it. We know that we are in a downtrend from the price action. The RSI started rising and just broke the 25. Well, sorry, the ADX. I know I don't have the DI lines over here, but it's just for simplicity. It's just an example. I'm gonna move into the MT4 soonish to see more examples with you guys. So RSI, so as you can see, it is ranged, right? So it crossed below 50 at the big, well before we do all this analysis, and it was consolidating around 30. So bouncing between 30 and 50. So what that means, Mega, sorry for your network. Yes, go for it. There's no need for you to, since you are struggling with your network and you cannot properly see our webinar, you don't need to be here, and you will receive the recording. Yes, so network has really disturbed me, but I will have better understanding when I receive the YouTube. Yes, sure. So guys, what it means if our RSI is not really posting any further lows, but it's like swinging around 30 territory. So you see ups and downs all the time, crossing above and below 30, but not really posting, not really extending to 50 territory or even above it. What that means, if we seen flirting and swinging around 30, it means that there is continuous selling pressure. So bears are in control, not oversold conditions. You see, not oversold condition, because it didn't really, we haven't really seen it to breach to be well below 30 in order to suggest a potential reversal. It was just close to 30 all the time and like moving around 30 all the time. So that's just saying that, okay, still bears in control, right? So we have from the RSI that still bears are in control. From the ADX, we are seeing that, so from the price action, we are seeing that we are in a downtrend. And from the ADX, we are seeing that slowly, the strength of the trend is increasing. So the strength of the downtrend. So everything agrees pretty much. Downtrend from the price action, RSI showing that there is an increase in selling pressure, and ADX suggesting that the downtrend is getting more and more strength, is getting stronger. So what that means, that it means that it will last longer, so that there is further steam to the downside. So seeing something like that, you can consider, you can start monitoring the asset to identify potential entry points to the short entry points. So one way to do it is if you see another crossing below 30 for the RSI, or if you see ADX crossing above 50, or simply you can zoom in by doing all this research, and you can enter the market when you see another break of the latest low. You get what I mean? That's there are many ways. These are just some of them. So in this example is using the swings, the RSI. Okay, the first entry was taken based on the fact that ADX finally broke above 50, in combination with the fact that RSI was at 30. The second entry was taken because we've seen the RSI failing to move above 30. The third entry was again has to do with RSI and the fact that RSI crossed again below 30. Okay, but it's not something that is a must. If you have a different way, you might consider saying that, okay, I have read the RSI, I have seen that the bears are still in control, I have checked the ADX and I noticed that there is, this suggests that the downtrend is still very, very strong. So my entries could be at every time that I spot a breakout of the previous support level from the price action. Okay, so let's go to the MT4 and MT5. Oh, sorry. Let's zoom over here to see what's going on. So what we have over here is a downtrend, right? Downtrend. So what's going on? I will merge a bit. Okay, I will remove the highs and the low just to be easier for you. Okay, where we are. Down, some kind of a floor over here. RSI starts slowing down, but held above 50 for a while. Crossed below 50, but didn't breach 30. So flirting a bit with 50. Nothing really to confirm us over here that we are in a downtrend until we had this breakout of the price action of our key support over here with a strong bearish candle. Okay, another one follow, and finally our RSI keep falling and breach 30 territory. So sign number one, sign number two, and let's see what the ADX has to say. ADX, okay, it started falling over here. It started falling, but it was still held above 35 and 25. So still suggesting that we have a strong trend. At this point over here, it flirted with the 25, but it didn't manage to move below it. So that means that we still have a strong trend, right? We still have, we don't have a weak trend basically. So we cannot say that we have a reversal or something. So it held above 25. But when these two signs, when we notice these two breakouts, the breakout of this support area over here with this strong bearish candle and another one that follow, when we saw RSI touching 30, we also noticed that ADX started pointing higher again and extending not only above 25 but also above 35. And if you notice, I told you earlier that you can use trend lines in your indicators as well. So look at that. I'm gonna connect my latest peaks. Have you seen that? So we have a breakout of these previous peaks. So 1, 2, 3 signs that there is an increasing pressure to the downside, so an increasing bearish pressure indicating that this swing lower might last for longer, this downwards movement might last for longer, and this is what indeed happened. So even if you missed these three, okay, but you have afterwards when you started like reading your chart and you say, okay, oh, I had a breakdown of this support, big bearish candle, another big bearish candle, RSI at 30 and continue moving close to 30, failing to extend above 50. I have over here ADX crossing above my trend line, indicating that it's a strong a strong trend, and the DI lines, can you see they are bearish as well with the red above the green? So 1, 2, 3, 4 signs. Even if you missed them, no audio. No, I have audio. It's capturing, so it's still working as I can. It might be your side, dear Hezekiel. So, so even if you missed those 4 signs, okay, it's okay because you have seen them afterwards. So what you are looking right now is to find a nice entry to participate to the trend. Trend is our friend. So how you can do that? You can either wait to see whether RSI will get back to 30 again, or you can use support levels as your entry levels, right? So we have this support over here and immediate support, and we have this latest high over here, right? So a break of this immediate support could be an entry point. So that one will be a possible entry point. Okay, so another possible entry point is at this latest swing, on the breakout of this latest swing. So this one is another possible entry point, and so on and so forth. Okay? Are we okay? Yeah, guys, actually I'm pretty much done. I think I try to present as many examples possible. Anyway, you have the handout, so your free time you will be able to read the handout again, see the recording again, and come back with questions if you have any. But yeah, so but this is pretty much it. We have reached to the end of our webinar, so now it's time for further questions if you have any. But yeah, you need to do you need to do your homework, basically, as we keep saying. Read the markets, read the price action, read your indicators, write down what you're seeing from each one of them. And if everything nicely agree, then you need to start searching for identifying entry points, either by using like William overbought and oversold RSI as your entries, or by breakouts, breakout of a ranging market, breakout of a channel, breakout of the immediate support and resistance levels. You can use pivot points as well. Start date wasn't good in started late and the audio wasn't good enough with catch your next time. Abasi, the recording it will be available, so don't worry about it. Antonio also joined late. Antonio, guys, everyone, this is recorded. So anyway, in your emails, you're going to receive by the latest tomorrow morning the recording. Okay, and in the handout section right now in this session, in the handout section, I have uploaded the PDF version. So please download it ASAP. Something that I forgot to mention, because we talk a lot about entries, but we didn't spoke a lot about stop losses, is that, let me get back. You can also, unless if you have your own strategy, exit strategy, you can also use and place a protective stop loss at the last high of the ADX. So what that means, actually, MT5, MT4, here we are at the last high of the ADX. So that implies that if, let's assume that we have take a short position over here, right? So you can go back to find the latest high of your ADX was here, right? So you can place your stop loss in this short position here, according to the latest high of your ADX, or slightly above it. Okay, so ADX could also be useful for placing a protective stop loss. or just use your latest swing highs if you are in a short position, or your latest swing lows if you are in a long position. And lock in some profits if you're seeing your ADX breaking back below 25. Okay, so guys, I'm gonna call it a day. I can see that there are no further questions. As I said, it's recorded. You're gonna receive it in your email. Sometimes it goes into the spam folder, so please check your spam folder as well. And if you're still struggling, you have not received the recording and etc., please contact us at webinars@hfm.com, and we will be reply within the day. Okay, so thank you very much. Have a great day ahead. Take care. It's inflation in an hour from the US, so this is something that could cause a lot of volatility to the dollar class in general in the markets. And we'll see you again tomorrow with a live analysis with Stuart. Thank you very much. Have a great day ahead. Bye-bye.